Hey guys, it's Spicket here from datsoEPIC Airsoft, and I've got a review for you today. Well, before I get to that though, I want to say a couple things. You may have noticed that this account only has one previous video, which you can check out right there. And that's a gameplay video. I was hoping to be uploading some more of those videos throughout the winter. You know, it's about 4 months old. However, I wasn't able to due to some camera issues whenever I went up, and just the schedule was too crowded to really play Airsoft that much, along with it was a really bad winter this year. So between all those things, wasn't able to upload any videos this winter really. Then I got back on and noticed that the hit counter on that video had gone up quite a bit. Thank you, by the way, all you guys from up at Kalamazoo who bothered to look up that video. Awesome, hope you liked it. But yeah, when I saw that video, I realized I should have been uploading reviews and whatnot throughout the winter, even when I wasn't playing. So yeah, I'm going to get back on that and get this account up and running and everything. Reviews, tips and tricks, gameplay, etc., etc. With the weather getting better, should be able to get this thing right in gear. So without further ado, let's get on to the review. What I've got for you today is the WE 7-inch Xcellerator Dragon. This is a gas blowback pistol from WE. It's a high kappa based on the 1911 high kappa magazine. Now, some quick features of this gun, I'm just going to give it a once over and then we'll go out and shoot it for you, get a little range test. It's an extended barrel version of the original WE Xcellerator Dragon, which cut off right here, and when I take it apart you'll be able to see the way that it fit together in the original pistol versus this larger version. Obviously it is a very big pistol, which means it's very accurate, something you will see in the shooting test in just a moment here. Full metal construction except for the handguard, which is a very durable ABS plastic, and that comes standard in all high kappa 1911 pistols as far as I know. It has a split slide right here, as you can see, which allows for a very crisp, quick blowback action when you're trying to squeeze some rounds off into somebody really quickly. That's a feature that comes with both the 7-inch and regular Xcellerator Dragons. Adjustable rear sight right here, very nice for a pistol this accurate, and an illuminated front sight, if you can see that. It's got a functioning ambidextrous thumb safety, as well as a functioning hand grip safety right there. Now I think that just covers it for basics. I'll get a little more in detail afterwards, but I know you guys probably want to see the gun shoot, so I'm going to take it outside and get that going for you. Alright guys, now you can see we're outside. Got a little man-sized target set up about 50 feet downrange, and maybe taking a few shots at it. And then after this we'll take a step back and do a few more shots at about 100 feet. Alright, I've just finished up the 50-foot test. As you can see, I was able to hit the headshot target as well as, well, just the target in general without much difficulty from 50 feet. So I'm going to take it back to 100 feet now and see how that goes. Alright, here we are, 100 feet. Alright, and there you have it. WE 7-inch Xcellerator Dragon at 50 and 100 foot range. Now, on to the more in-detail, in-depth review. Alright, for this review I'm going to list off some pros and cons, just general stuff. I'm going to start off with the cons, just go from worst to best. To start off with, this gun is obviously very big. Now, that has upsides and downsides. First downside is it's heavy. Now, that's not an issue for somebody who's, you know, my size and kind of a bigger guy to medium-sized guy. But for a smaller guy and you're trying to use this, I could imagine it would get tiring. on your forearms after a little while, because not only is it heavy, but all the weight is out in front, so it's pulling down. It's very, very front heavy. It's pulling down on the front of your hands, so this part of your arm could get tired after an entire day of using a pistol like this. The other issue that comes from it being so large is it's difficult to find a holster that can fit. What you have to do is get a holster designed for a pistol with a silencer. At least that's what I was able to do, and that fits it very nicely. But if you have just a normal universal holster, it may not fit this pistol, because like I said, it is massive. Next issue, not really a functional issue, but more of an aesthetic type of deal. When you get this out of the box, it will have an ambidextrous thumb safety right here. The one on the right is very, very loose, and it will get even looser with use, and eventually will fall out. Now, I've taken mine out on my own to avoid losing it on the field in case I do ever want to put it back in. So yes, it will fall out eventually, and there's not much you can do about that as far as I can tell. I don't know if that's an issue for you. It would be more of an issue if you are left-handed and need a thumb safety on the right side of the pistol. If you're right-handed, no issue. Like I said, a completely aesthetic thing, does not affect the functionality of safety whatsoever. Next issue might not be an issue for all of you, it's not an issue for me, however it might be, especially if you're a heavy-duty milsim player or if you do very, very long games, is that it's not possible to field strip this gun. As you see in my disassembly section of this video, there are multiple steps that are required to get this apart, which require a set of tools that you won't necessarily have on the field, and even if you do, it takes much more time, and there are a lot more smaller pieces than you want when you're just taking apart a gun in the middle of an airsoft game. Now, another thing that you may have an issue with, now this is a very easy fix, is, I don't know if you can see on the camera, but the original frame comes out to here, and then the extension of the frame is attached along the bottom, and when you get this out of the box, that extension is a bit wobbly. Like I said, that's an easy fix, and I'll show you how to fix that in my disassembly portion of this video, but it is an issue. Another issue, also an easy fix, is that when the gun starts to get a little bit low on gas, this sometimes will not blow back far enough to chamber another round. You'll just get this kind of half blowback action, dry firing, nothing coming out, and that can be very frustrating. However, like I said, it's an easy fix and something I'll show you how to do. Nothing that should keep you from getting this gun. Now that does it for cons. Let's get on to the pros of this gun. First of all, it's heavy. Now I know I just listed that as a con, but I mean, some people like heavy guns, and I am one of those people. It feels very solid. It's nice to feel a solid weight in your hands when you're playing. It makes you feel like you're using something you can trust, and I feel like I can trust this gun. As you saw, and when I shot it, is that this gun is very accurate at 50 feet. I was able to hit a headshot every single time if I wanted to, and once you get out to 100 feet, it's still very accurate. It requires some hop-up adjustment at that distance, but it's still very accurate, very nice for a pistol, sidearm. It's very, very nice to be able to confidently know you're going to hit a target from a range like that. Now, because of that range, I could recommend this as a sidearm for both an indoor and outdoor player. I mean, you've got that range for outdoors and the power behind it as a gas blowback pistol, but you also have still a relatively low profile overall because it's smaller than any other CQB M4 or AEG you're going to be using. I mean, I'm sure there are a couple of exceptions, but in general, this is small enough to be used indoors. Another pro is, as I mentioned before, the quick recycle rate because of the split side allows you to squeeze off multiple rounds in quick succession. Very, very nice. That split side also increases gas efficiency, so you can get almost 2 magfuls out of a single fill of gas with a normal sized magazine. That's a nice feature. Another nice feature is, as I mentioned, the adjustable sights front and back. Allows you to line up and sight in your pistol, which actually does matter for a pistol like this because of its range. Sighting in does matter. Also, ambidextrous safeties, as I mentioned before, right and left. Like I said, there are some issues with them, however, it's still a nice feature, and I'm sure with care you wouldn't have to worry about losing that. I've read that other WE-1911s have the issue that this doesn't actually do anything, it's just there for show, but as you can see, not pushing that down, trigger doesn't work, push that thing down, there you go. So, that's nice. You don't have to worry about this going off in your holster while you're running around. Full metal slide, upper receiver, front barrel, and plastic handguard, but that's never a problem, that's standard. Adjustable hop-up accessed inside of the barrel by disassembly, which I will be showing you in just a moment. Tack rail all the way across the length of the bottom. Very nice if you want to mount an attachment like a laser of some sort, or a grenade launcher, whatever fits you. I think that just about does it for externals, pros and cons. So let's let's take this thing apart. Alright, before I actually go about taking this apart, you're going to need a few things. First of all, you're going to need is a set of Allen wrenches. I picked up this multi-tool at my local bike shop. You might want to do the same. It's called a park tool. It's very handy for taking apart gas blowbacks and airsoft guns of any kind, but any set of Allen wrenches will do. Next thing you're going to want is a very small Phillips head screwdriver and a can of silicone lubricant right here. So let's get right into it. First thing you're going to want to do is make sure the mag's out. First of all, I don't want to have that in there where I think it's apart. But anyways, once you've got that done, there's going to be a small hex bolt in the bottom of the pistol right there. You're going to take an Allen wrench to fit it. Go ahead and take that out. Once you have that out, you'll see that that frees this up for movement. Next thing you're going to want to do is, as you can see, there are two bolts there and there in the front. Get a slightly smaller Allen wrench to fit those. Go ahead and take those babies out. Alright, now that you've got those two out, set them aside, two long bolts. Last thing I'm going to do is take your Phillips head screwdriver and go onto the bottom. As you can see right there, you got another screw to take out, so go ahead and do that. There you go. Make sure you don't lose any of these things, they're kind of important. So once you have that done, this front part should slide right off, and followed by this. Once you've gotten to this point, it comes apart just like any other WE 1911. What you do is pull the slide back until this notch lines up with the top of the slide catch, as so. And then you want to turn over the pistol, locate this button right there, go ahead and push that. It should come out. Set this aside, and then the slide should come off front like that. Now, I mentioned earlier in the video there were a couple issues that you could fix easily by taking this apart. The first being the wobbly front part. Now, I've loosened this up for the purpose of showing you what I mean. See how that wiggles? All you need to do is take your Phillips head screwdriver and locate these two screws right there. And go ahead and tighten them down. Once you have that done, that should fix any wobble that you had with the front of the gun. Now, as far as internals go for the lower frame, there's nothing really special, just a typical run-of-the-mill high-capped lower pistol receiver from WE. Full metal, everything except for the grip, as I've said. So yeah, don't expect anything out of the ordinary with this. Onto the upper frame and slide. You can see obviously the extended 7-inch barrel right here, and inside you can get to the hop-up right there. Now, as I mentioned, the other issue with the slide not quite blowing back far enough to catch another BB. Also an easy fix. I'll show you here in just a moment. First thing you need to do is go ahead and get your barrel out. Take that stuff out. And now all that should be left is the nozzle and blowback chamber right in there. Now to fix this, you want to take your silicone lubricant, open that up, and pull forward on this blowback chamber, as so. See that? See how it sticks forward instead of just sliding back on its own? That's bad, and that's how it is when you first get this pistol. Now what you need to do is leave that sticking forward, take your lubricant and spray it down right on the surface of that inner piston. Get it nice and sprayed down. Once you have that, go ahead and slide that back forward a couple times. So now you've got that lubed up, you can see it springs forward and backward very nicely on its own. That's what you want. Now other than that, nothing particularly special about the upper slide except for the fact that it is, of course, split. Now I think that just about covers it for internals. I'm going to go ahead and put it back together and we'll finish up the video. Alright guys, so now that we've got all that done, you know how to take it apart, you've seen it shoot, I've listed off the pros and cons. I recommend if you decide to get this gun, you pick up a spare 30 round WE high-capa magazine. This uses 5.1 mags, in case you were wondering, and for my own preference I also picked up a 51 round super high capa mag. So you have that. And as far as the gun goes, it's $120 on ePIC and everywhere else that I could find it. It's a great gun, I love it. Accuracy, fast blowback, I mean everything about it. I haven't had a single real problem with this gun ever. And I would recommend this to anyone who's looking for a great sidearm. So head over to ePIC, pick this up, you will not regret it. If you like the review, go ahead and subscribe down there, I think. Maybe YouTube might have moved it, whatever. Subscribe, push the button, and we'll have more videos up for you in the future. As you know, I'm new to this, so if you have any suggestions for me on how to do a better review and videos in general, go ahead and leave that down below. I'm looking forward to hearing your input. Thanks a lot. Go play Airsoft.